Have you ever stopped to wonder what truly makes your dog feel deeply loved by you? Sure, you keep their bowl full, you make sure they get their daily walks, you give them a comfortable life. But beneath the surface of all that, there are things your dog quietly craves, subtle gestures that most owners never even think to try. These are some of the most effective ways to strengthen the bond with your dog. And if you continue to overlook them, like the vast majority of owners do, you might never unlock the deepest level of devotion and connection your dog is capable of offering. Let's dive right in with the one you can put into practice tonight. 1. Focusing on the spots they secretly ache for you to scratch. Have you ever watched your dog press their body hard into your hand when you find a certain spot, only to flinch or move away when you shift to a different area? That's not accidental. Your dog is quite literally showing you where affection lives on their body, and most people completely miss the memo. Here's the typical approach. Most folks go straight for the crown of the head. They roughhouse the fur, or they give firm pats along the back, and sure, some dogs tolerate it. But there's a world of difference between a dog that simply endures your touch and a dog that completely surrenders to it. The areas your dog is genuinely yearning for you to scratch are the places they simply can't reach on their own, just behind the ears, that sweet spot at the base of the skull, the center of the chest between their front legs, and the lower back right above the tail. When you take your time and scratch those zones with intention, something remarkable occurs. Your dog's brain releases a flood of oxytocin, the very same bonding chemical that surges through a mother when she cradles her newborn. You're doing more than just giving them a satisfying scratch. You're activating a biological response that sends a clear message to their entire system. This person truly understands me. This is my person. Studies diving into canine behavior have confirmed that dogs possess specific zones where touch triggers measurable drops in both heart rate and stress hormones. When you nail those spots, their body physically unwinds, and if that little insight catches you off guard, just wait until you hear the final point on this list. It's something so incredibly simple that the vast majority of people walk right past it every single day. Yet it might be the single most impactful thing you can ever do to help your dog feel completely secure with you. 2. Giving them time to sniff, not just pushing for miles. Have you ever found yourself wondering why your dog will spend what feels like an eternity investigating one tiny patch of grass on every single walk? You're standing there, patience wearing thin, maybe giving a gentle tug on the leash, but here's the truth. They're not being difficult. You're just approaching the walk all wrong. A lot of owners treat walks as nothing more than a workout. They set a brisk pace. They keep the leash pulled in tight. They actively steer their dog away from anything remotely interesting. But that completely misses how a dog's mind operates. Dogs don't navigate the world through their eyes the way we do. They take it all in through their nose. Sniffing isn't something that interrupts the walk. The sniffing is the entire point of the walk. When you hurry your dog past every intriguing scent, you're unintentionally building up their frustration. It's like taking someone to a massive library and refusing to let them open a single book. A quick sniff here and there simply doesn't cut it. Dogs require time to absorb information. Every single smell tells them a complete story. Who walked by, what they had for lunch, whether they were feeling anxious or relaxed. It's their own version of scrolling through social media. The solution is straightforward, yet it rarely crosses anyone's mind. Set aside a portion of the walk that belongs entirely to them. Let them call the shots. Let them pause and investigate. Let them circle back to a spot that grabbed their attention. Give them 5 or 10 minutes where the walk is 100% theirs. When you allow your dog to truly explore with their nose, something changes. They return home noticeably more content, more relaxed, far less likely to pace around or whine. That's not just burning off energy, that's mental enrichment. And for a dog, mental enrichment carries just as much weight as physical exercise. Once you start walking this way, you'll pick up on something. Your dog will start checking in with you more frequently. They'll glance back at you mid-sniff with a look that seems to say, "Thanks for letting me have this moment." That's not just a walk anymore. That's trust being built, brick by brick, through genuine understanding. And hey, before we move on to the next point, if you're picking up something valuable about your dog right now, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe. It genuinely helps us connect with more people who are eager to understand their dogs on a richer level, just like you are. 3. Using a calm, soothing voice that cuts through the noise. Have you ever spoken to your dog and gotten the distinct impression that they were hanging on your every word, like they cocked their head to the side, perked their ears forward, or locked their eyes on you as if they were following every single syllable? You weren't just imagining things, but here's where most people get tripped up. It's not actually about the specific words coming out of your mouth. It's entirely about the way you deliver them. Research into how dogs think has uncovered something truly fascinating. Dogs process emotional tone completely separately from language. They can instantly distinguish between a happy voice, an angry voice, and a neutral voice, even if the words being spoken are complete gibberish. When you hit that higher, more excited pitch, your dog's brain lights up with anticipation and pure joy. When you drop into a lower, calmer, more soothing register, their entire body visibly relaxes. Now, this doesn't mean you need to provide a running commentary of your whole day. In fact, going overboard can actually backfire. Dogs are incredibly attuned to emotional leaks. If you're feeling stressed out and you try to hide it, your voice will betray you every time. The magic lies in using your dog's name with genuine warmth, offering short, comforting phrases when they seem anxious, and making sure your tone fits the mood of the moment. And this is the part that slips past most people. When you make a habit of using that calm, affectionate tone with your dog, you're constructing what experts call an auditory anchor. Over weeks and months, the sound of your voice becomes a trigger for safety. Your dog starts to link that particular tone with comfort, with protection, with the feeling of being home, for offering treats directly from your hand, not just scattering them on the ground. What if I told you that one of the most profound bonding rituals with your dog takes less than 2 minutes out of your entire day? No fancy gadgets, no obedience drills, just your open hand and a few tiny treats. Sounds almost too easy to matter. Right. That's precisely why almost no one actually does it. Most owners fall into the same routine without thinking. Grab a treat, toss it on the floor, or dump it into a bowl, walk away. And honestly, there's nothing harmful about that. But what you might be overlooking is that you're skipping one of the most ancient bonding opportunities that exists between you and your dog. Go back to the wild, and you'll see that canine parents don't simply abandon food for their young. They carry it back to the den. They present it directly to their pups. That act of personally delivering food ranks among the very first experiences of trust a puppy ever has. It's woven deep into their genetic code. So, when you take a small treat and present it from your open palm, keeping your fingers flat so there's no risk of an accidental nip, you're doing so much more than handing over a snack. You're tapping into a form of communication that reaches back thousands of years. You're sending your dog a message that cuts deeper than any words could. I'm your provider. You don't need to guard this. You don't need to be anxious. I'm choosing to share this with you because we're pack now. If your dog takes it gently, resist the urge to pull back. Let them enjoy the moment fully. The real power lies in repeating this over time. When you make it a consistent practice, something gradually shifts. Your dog starts approaching your hands with a different energy. Not grabbing or rushing, but with soft, trusting anticipation. Your hands stop being just instruments for petting and start becoming symbols of generosity, safety, and unwavering trust. 5. Simply sitting on the floor and meeting them where they are. What if the single most meaningful gesture you could ever make toward your dog costs absolutely nothing, requires zero effort, and doesn't involve food, play, or even physical contact? This is the one I teased earlier. The act so incredibly simple that nearly everyone walks right past it day after day. Just sit down on the floor. That's the whole thing. No hidden agenda. No reaching out to pet them. No calling their name to get their attention. Just lower your entire body down to their level and simply exist there for a handful of minutes. Take a moment to see the world through your dog's eyes for a second. Every single human in their life is a towering giant. You loom over them when you move through the room. You descend from above whenever you reach out to touch them. Even your displays of affection come from a place of height and dominance. And your dog accepts all of this without complaint, but they almost never get The chance to experience you as a peer, someone who isn't hovering overhead, isn't constantly reaching for them, isn't demanding anything from them. When you lower yourself to the floor, something subtle but powerful starts to unfold. Your dog notices. Maybe not in the first few seconds, but they will pick up on it. You might catch them glancing over, then slowly, cautiously moving closer. Maybe they settle down near you, not pressed against you, just close by. Maybe they wander over with a toy. Maybe they simply flop down and release that deep, satisfied sigh that seems to come from somewhere deep inside. That space between you is an empty distance. That's your dog actively choosing to share space with you, completely on their own terms, with zero pressure. And that moment, right there, represents the purest form of trust a dog can possibly offer. Not because you filled their bowl, not because you hit the perfect scratch, not because you figured out the right way to walk them, but because you chose to make yourself small enough to step into their world and simply be present. If this video opened your eyes to a new way of understanding how your dog experiences love, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss another deep exploration. And if you'd like to support us in creating more content like this, take a look at the join button down below. I genuinely treasure having you as part of this community.